We're going to talk to you about what are known as distortions. And these kind of distortions pretty much have to do with um, human culture. You have an impulse to do good for others. That's a pure impulse. But then when it gets to you, you take that impulse and you distort it to fit in with human culture. So the example, a long time ago, I talked about this example. I have somebody who is interested in servicing others, and this person is never really too much interested in, let's go with, the amount of fossil fuel used to move the product from where it's made to where it's consumed. Are we done? Are we done? No, I'm going to continue. So this is certainly a good example, and this is like one tiny example on a planet of 8 billion people. One tiny example is the one that went in my head, and I bet you can come up with a lot of different other examples of stuff that's made very far away, and maybe it's the stuff that you use. So the impulse is to be active, to be doing something, to create a business, to create a stream of income for the owner, for the customers to get the product that they want. But it's hugely distorted because the product is made so far away from, this is a food product, this is bread. If you ask this person directly, would you prefer to have bread made in your local vicinity of your city? I mean, would you like to be able to walk 2 blocks and there's the bakery where you buy your bread? Do you think that's better than going to the Walmart and buying bread that was made 2 states over and trucked in? This person would say, I want the local bread. And yet this person is involved in shipping bread 2 states over. It's actually 3 states over. So it's an enormous distortion. Why isn't there a local bakery where this product is ending up 3 states over? So this is just a distortion of human culture. Is it flawed? Yes, it's highly flawed. Can it be fixed? It's going to take a lot of consciousness to fix these things. And it's not only the smarts to fix it, it's the wherewithal to fix it. I mean, I can come up with the idea. In that place with the bread incident, let's just build a bakery there. And when I'm saying let's, I'm not saying me. I'm like, who? It's just that I don't have the capital to build a little bakery in a little town 3 states away. So what's going to happen is the people in that town, they might be all stupid. I mean, maybe it's a very small town, about 250 people. And the people there, it never occurred to them to build a little bakery there. Or maybe it occurred to them and there was just too much government red tape. Or the banks wouldn't back them because it costs a fair amount of money, to build a bakery and get all the equipment, get it all set up. That takes quite a bit of money. So it's going to have to be a capitalist who either has his own money or investors' money or bank money. And that bakery is not built because we're still shipping 3 state over bread. And I'm going to tell you that this is way, way up north where there's not even roads. So we're not trucking this bread 3 states over. We're trucking the bread 2 states, and then for the 3rd leg of the trip, it's going to be on an airplane. A small airplane, a propeller-driven airplane. How much fossil fuel did we use to send this bread 3 states away? Jet fuel and diesel fuel. A lot. It's the height of stupidity, and it's gone on for decades. Where's the capitalism in it? Well, are you interested in reducing fossil fuel use by getting rid of these long trips? Then you'll figure it out. But then you're just going to say, well, I still don't have the money to fix this or something. I don't know. But it's been decades and decades and decades, and the problem still goes on. Whose lap is it mostly in? Well, the people that finally get it way up north, they pay, I don't know, $12 for a loaf of bread. The government always ends up subsidizing these kind of things. So you, Mr. and Mrs. Taxpayer, are subsidizing these stupidities. This is one example. And you just add up how many stupid things that are like this, and you're going to come to an enormous amount of wasted fuel. Which is, people keep complaining about. They don't want to keep burning fossil fuels. They don't want the fracking. They don't want the pipelines. They don't want the oil spills. They don't want the tanker accidents. They don't want the stench of refineries. So cutting back on waste seems like a logical thing to do, but, We don't seem to have a unified intelligence and a unified wherewithal to get this one done. And I'm kind of annoyed. But, maybe I'm like, why am I annoyed? It's just simply that, politicians have been talking about these kind of problems my whole lifetime. And we don't expect the politicians to do it. We expect, the professional bureaucracy of the governments to do these things. And what happens? They never turn out. There are always huge cost overruns, which means higher taxes. It's just a history of it don't work good. So my final takeaway is, how are we going to get everything to work better? And my best answer is hands off. The hands off method is the best method. And what does it mean? It simply means, rather than me going in and getting involved in this one particular thing, because if I spend a week just sitting, I'll probably get about 200 good ideas like this that could be implemented. So am I an ideas man, or I'm laying bricks and mortar up in some northern community for a new bakery? Yes. But I didn't really want to get into business doing this. I primarily like to do my videos. I like to talk about these things and get them off my chest. And I can't write fast enough to type them all down, so, video works very well. And how does the hands-off work? Well, generally speaking, it's simply, I'm aware of it. It's in consciousness. Does me speaking it to the camera make a difference? Could be, could be not. It's just that this stuff is in consciousness, and am I concentrating it by talking about it? Could be. We just don't know. Nevertheless, it's me talking about these things. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share. And, if you really want to build bakeries in the far north, well, I think it's a good idea. I think people need jobs up there. Now, if you're going to pay minimum wage, no, don't do that. I mean, if you're going to make it work, and then this is just the problem, you can't make the economics work without minimum wage, which is never enough to support people in their own communities. That's just the way it is. How much are you going to pay a baker up in the Yukon or something? So a factory in Minnesota is going to make the enormous amount of bread by robot, or minimal amounts of labor, and it's going to be flown to the Yukon instead of baked there. I don't know, I'm just going in circles and circles and circles.